first? Let me just look.
Sure. Okay. So good afternoon, everybody. It's June 28th. So we're almost done with half of the year. Isn't it amazing how fast time flies? So we've started these cooking shows maybe a month and a half or 2 months into the pandemic, and we're on episode 8, I believe. So thank you so much for those of you who have supported us. What we're doing is we're actually just inviting you into our home kitchen. We are the Dumancas family. And we typically prepare our meals anyway around this time for Sunday evening dinner. So what we do is we just share with people very simple recipes that require only 7 ingredients or less. So very basic home cooking. Most of these ingredients are already in your pantry or your fridge. But we do send out those flyers that enumerate the ingredients needed for the dishes we're preparing around middle of the week, usually Thursday. Sometimes it comes out on a Wednesday, and on a few occasions, maybe Friday. But anyway, I hope that you will enjoy our dishes for today. We are preparing 2 types of Alfredo sauce. So one is a vegan version, and the other one is a regular version. And then my wife is going to be making
a cake, a chocolate
cake.
With a bit of a twist. So
yep.
Anyway,
welcome everybody. This is 7 with Chad Marvie. Obviously, it takes after our names. I'm Chad.
This is Marvie, for those of you who don't know us.
So again, we're using 2 formats here. We are using Zoom and Facebook Live. So for those of you who are on Zoom, hello. Please unmute yourself and say hi so we'll know who's cooking with us today.
Yes, we actually have a very special young gentleman cooking with us today. I heard that our Marine, a very young Marine, John Batitang, is cooking with us, I think together with his mom. Welcome, John. We're so glad to have you today. And before we dive in though, okay, so we announced last weekend that we have a contest. And this contest is actually called 99. What is 99? It's actually cooking your way to 99, and then you choose what you will call mine. The tagline is actually that: cook your way to 99. Which will you call mine? Something like that. Because we're actually giving you a choice as to what you want as a prize for the first person to earn 99 points. Okay, so before you even sit down and relax, I want to tell you today, by merely joining us on Zoom or FB Live, you get a point. Then if you host a watch party, those of you who can and would like to, you get an additional 2 points for that. Then every single dish that you cook with us, with every cooking class such as today, you get another 2 points for each dish. So you are capable of earning 7 to 9 points on a weekend, on a Sunday, if you come join us. Today is extra special because we're doing 2 different kinds of sauces, Alfredo sauce. If you make both, then that's 4 points.
What is it called? It's cook your way to 99. Which of these will I call mine?
Will you call mine?
Oh, if I were the participant, which of these would I call mine?
Right.
So it's a point system based. We're hoping to engage more people and hoping that you spread the word out there.
It's a race.
Yep.
So I've been saying I'm coming up with a video, but if you know me, I'm a bit too much, a little too much. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. It's taking me a longer time. But that's one way you're going to earn the points, by doing all of those today with us. All right?
Okay.
So
we'll talk with you later on about what Saladmaster equipment you can actually earn your way into becoming your own. But for now, we'll kick off with our chocolate cake.
Our chocolate cake. A good friend of ours from Arkansas, Charlotte Scott, texted me and she was like, your chocolate cake has some really interesting ingredients. They do, because this is like something that you probably have never seen before unless you've been to a Saladmaster cooking demo, okay? So today we are making or baking our chocolate cake. So you can use any boxed chocolate cake mix for this one, like I said in the invitation, all right?
Okay.
But I'm making something that's gluten-free for ourselves today. And then if you look at the box in the back for your baking instructions, it will tell you exactly what else you need. A lot of times it's your cooking mix, some oil, some water, and some eggs. This one specifically says 2 eggs and then 3/4 of a cup of water and 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil. That is what it's supposed to take to bake all of these. I'm baking all of it. But instead of the water and the oil, dun, 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 we're going to use an apple and a couple of carrots. All right? And then there's something else I'm adding that most Saladmaster people would not probably know to add. I'm doing a little bit of an experiment today, okay? So those are the things I'm using for my cake. Instead of water and oil, it's an apple and a couple of carrots. Cool?
Okay. Can you unlock? There's a couple people who want to know some Zoom information.
Okay. Somebody is asking. I'm sorry,
Okay,
real
let me take
quick.
Okay, so I'll try to answer these questions for those of you who texted us. I'll get back to you. Okay.
All right. And then the other twist to this will be here. I'm going to use the EOC, the electric oil core skillet, to bake my cake in. I will not use the traditional oven. But those of you who are baking with me and are using your traditional oven, you can do that exactly the way that your box is saying you do. The only thing that you're going to do different is here. Instead of using your oil, I want you to, that's why I asked you to have an apple and your carrots. And what I need you to do right now is wash them thoroughly like I did. I'm not going to peel these. There's a reason for that. A lot of the nutrients are in the skin, so I'm not going to remove the skin. I just pre-washed really well. And then the next thing you will do is grate both. Grate them, okay? Which is exactly what I'm gonna do right now. So first, I'm grating my carrots in my favorite processor. Can you all see this? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see this well? So I'm using a shredder and this processor. This processor has so many cones that go with it. This is one of them, which is a shredder. Okay. Ta-da! Shredding my carrot all the way. Okay. Now, this actually, those 2 pieces of carrot gives me a yield of about a cup and a half, about a cup and 1/3, a cup and 1/3 to a cup and a half of shredded carrots. Okay. The next is my fresh apple. Why are we able to do this? Some of you already have tried substituting applesauce for butter or oil in your baking. This is what that's what this is all about. But instead of using a store-bought applesauce, I'm just using a fresh apple and shredding it. So it's so much more natural. You see that? So I'm just going around the core, making sure that I don't get any of my apple seeds into this mix, okay? Because if you don't know yet, your apple seeds are not good to eat. Make sure you don't eat your apple seeds. There you go. Let me just grab everything that's inside. Do you see this? That is the most natural. It's the healthiest version of an applesauce. Nothing else in it but the apples. And then I'll simply be making this right up. You don't eat your apple seeds. Okay. Here. a combination of the apples and the carrots. Ta-da! Now, if you will ask me, how much is this all together? This is going to be about 2 cups. If you added the amount of liquid that this was asking me to put in, 3/4 of a 3/4 cup of oil and then 3/4 cup of water, that's a cup and a half, right? But this grated combination of apple and carrot is about 2 cups. Cool. Then I'm going to add the eggs. There you go, eggs. And our whole box of chocolate cake mix, okay? Ta-da. Okay, let me just, you're back. Welcome to everybody who's just joining us.
Yeah, so I was able to respond. In case you are on Facebook Live and you have originally intended to join us through Zoom, I think there's been a miscommunication. The meeting number is 899-4584-4446. Okay.
We changed it about 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Again, it's 899-4584.
4446.
And then if you need the password, just send us a message either through Facebook or through the cell phone. Thank you again. So I'd like to welcome in John and Leah, Celeste and Sergey.
Hello.
And also I want to welcome Tasha. Okay, so hi everybody.
Tasha is
joining us.
here. So I'm mixing this. So remember, this is gluten-free cake mix, okay? Why am I mentioning that? Gluten-free mixes always tend to be drier than your regular cake mixes. And here. So if you did not see it earlier, I did not add oil or butter nor water. What we did is we shredded a whole apple, a big one, and a couple of carrots. Combined, they were about 2 cups of shredded fruit and vegetable. There you go.
Looks
Do you
good.
see the mix? And then our E-asy, we've been preheating to 250 degrees, all right? When you bake in a Saladmaster ware, you don't necessarily use a spray, a baking or a cooking spray. Today, the only reason I'm using a spray is because I want to be able to release this cake immediately when it's done. If you don't use any type of spray or butter at the bottom, you will have to wait about 1.5 hours to 2 hours to cool your cake completely before you can release it in a clean manner, all right? So that's the only reason for the spray. Annie, if you want to help me please spread the cake. There you go.
Okay.
So I've been preheating the E-asy, if you can see.
Okay. So we could shift our view.
The E-asy, Mikael, my son, who's our administrator, please show the E-asy. Do you see? The E-asy has been preheated to 250 degrees, okay? If you're baking traditionally, then you know that you're supposed to preheat your big oven to whatever temperature your cake mix said to preheat your big oven to, okay? So my E-asy is at 250. Now with our mix, I'm going to add everything in. And we'll just try to like even it out as we put it in. Can you all see the mix being put into the E-asy? Thumbs up. Cassie, can you see it?
Yes, I see it.
Okay.
Hi,
Yeah.
Cassie.
There you go.
Hello, hello.
It's probably gonna come across better.
Yes. So because the E-asy is so much bigger than your typical round 9-inch cake pan, and obviously the cake I'm going to end up baking will be a lot thinner, but bigger in diameter. And I'm going to give some of these to my good friend Cassie. I owe you some meals. I said I'm going to bring you some food. Let me just admit Darren for now. There you go.
Okay. So for those of you who just joined, if you're here to cook the Alfredo sauce with us, no worries, we haven't started it yet. Well, we kicked it off with this cake.
We are going to start with the cake because I'm going to need about 40 to 45 minutes to bake this, only because it's gluten-free cake. Gluten-free cake tends to bake with much longer time. You will need much longer time, okay? So at 250, I will time this to go all the way to 40. There you go. There's our cake baking for 40 minutes. At about 10 minutes into baking it, I will do something else, okay, between 10 to 15, and we'll shift gears. But for now, I'm gonna do something else to our cake. But for now, let me give to you, honey. Would you like to do the Alfredo sauce regular this time?
Okay, I'll do that.
We'll do the Alfredo sauce first.
I'm trying to clean this up because I'm gonna use it later.
And I'm gonna grab this for our use later as well, okay?
Okay, so let me bring my tray over here. I do have a cheat sheet. This is Marvie's recipe. She does this all the time for her family. But since we're doing 2 types of sauces today, I think they could hear that water. Yeah. Since we're doing 2 types of sauces today, I have to prepare the other one. Okay, so let me just go give you a quick run through of the ingredients, right? So we do need heavy whipping cream. Today I'm using Kroger's version. 2 cups of this. We'll be using butter, 1.5 cups. So this is 1/2 cup. So I'll use 3 of these. It's a very rich sauce, right? Any white sauce is actually very rich. We have our minced garlic here, 1 tablespoon. I have my parsley. I'll be using 1 teaspoon. I have my Parmesan cheese for grating.
Yes.
We bought this from Central Market, and then I have
We're telling you where we buy our stuff as well.
half a cream cheese. Okay,
Half a block, which is 4 ounces.
4 ounces. Okay, so how do we go about this? So today I'll be using a 3-quart, right? A 3-quart pot. So let me
You
get
can
it.
use whatever saucepan that you have, or even a big skillet.
So this is a 3-quart pot by Saladmaster. And the first step is actually to warm your butter and your cream in a large saucepan. So whatever pan you're using. So let's go ahead and add in our butter. So again, I said I'll be using 3 of these. Like a butter package has 4 of these, right? So this is 1/4 of that.
It's actually half a cup, honey.
Yeah, this is half a cup, but it's
Oh,
1/4
1/4
of
is
a
a big one,
box.
right? Well, it depends on what kind you have. If you have the regular, block of butter, then that's a cup. But I wanted to make mention, but this way of making your Alfredo sauce, this is actually keto friendly, okay? For those of you, because I have a friend, Bernadette. Bernadette, hi, I think you're joining us today, but I would love to know if you're here with us. She asked me about a week ago, hey, are you ever gonna do anything that's keto friendly? Because I think she's trying to do that. She's on a keto diet. So this is keto friendly. Why? Very high in fat content. Cool.
Very high in fat, and if you don't do the pasta or the rice right with it, and so there's no carbs, and you just add your protein. Therefore, it fits the keto criteria.
Yes, your protein and your vegetables.
Right.
Cool.
Okay.
So do you see the difference? A lot of people that I've seen make Alfredo sauce from scratch. The first thing that they do is they kind of brown or cook their garlic in the butter. Today, one of the things that most people don't use for their Alfredo sauce is the cream cheese. That's one of the big differences. Okay.
Okay. So when do I add my cream cheese? Is that later on?
No, it's
Because I add my butter and my whipping cream.
right.
So later on with the cream cheese. Okay. So here's my 1 cup, and I need 2 cups of these. Should have mixed it first.
So anyway, if you're wondering what Chet is making, will yield about 4 servings or like almost 4 cups of Alfredo sauce. Okay, this particular recipe will. Oops.
And then I'm just gonna make sure my butter lies close to the base so that it will have direct contact with the heat. So there I have my pot. I'm gonna be moving this over now to my stovetop. I'm gonna heat it at medium, okay? So, Mikael, if you could just change the camera view.
There you go.
All right, so it's at medium, and I'll leave it here until it's warmed. Okay, so we can.
You will warm it at medium, but as soon as this vapor valve starts clicking, you're going to lower it because you will simmer it for only about 2 minutes. And then you add your garlic. That's how you will cook your garlic, in a simmering combination of your warmed cream and butter.
Right.
Okay?
Okay. So I'll leave that covered for about a minute.
Until it starts clicking.
Until it starts clicking.
Mm-hmm.
So to lighten things up a bit, one of our followers, I call her a follower, she's a good friend, sent us a joke, okay? I'll acknowledge her later on if you laugh. Okay, so that
It depends.
Asha has joined, can you please admit her? Okay, so yeah, so the question is, so there was this blind man, okay, who apparently fell into a well. So why did the blind man fall into the well? Again, why did the blind man fall into the well? If you have an answer, you can unmute yourself.
Oh, then only the people on Zoom can answer this.
I can tell you the answer.
Okay, what's the answer?
Cassie knows.
You want me to tell you now? Or you want
Sure, go ahead.
to write it? Oh, because he couldn't see the well.
Pretty close, because he couldn't see that well. He couldn't see that well. That's why he fell into the well. But anyway, thank you.
Did you guys get that? I hope you guys, but Cassie was quick.
Sometimes these jokes are funnier when you see them in writing.
It's the way you say it.
I know. I'm not really a jokester.
No.
It's the way you say it.
You missed it. I'm like, huh? Oh, because he didn't see that well. You know, did you get it? Still not. We're failing.
No, he didn't see that well. That well. So it was supposed to be a pun because that particular well he didn't see.
Okay, there you go. I hope you guys got it. We're so failing in this. Okay, but Chad is now trying to mix the cream.
Yeah, it's still not warm enough, but the butter is starting to melt.
We'll wait for that to start clicking. Okay, now we're gonna shift gears. It will be a little bit confusing because we're going to try to do all these 3 things simultaneously. If you're doing all 3 things with us simultaneously, then you should have done it exactly the way we were doing it, and everything will fit in an hour. But if you're just doing one thing with us, then here we go. We started the cake. He started doing the regular Alfredo sauce that is keto friendly. At this time, we're going to move on to our vegan version of the Alfredo sauce. Okay?
Okay. So
Here we go.
you want me to grate this later?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
We have a message here, so I need you to unlock this.
We have a message. People are messaging us. I apologize. Whenever we do these cooking classes and people start messaging us like close to 5, or when it's already like sometime after 5, a lot of times we're not able to answer you anymore because it's kind of difficult for us to just go from one thing to the other. Okay.
Okay.
But
perfect.
here,
We're good.
for our vegan Alfredo, here you go, honey.
Mhm.
Please review your method so you can see clearly later. So here's for your vegan sauce. Can we move this to the side real
Sure.
quick?
Here.
So it's not confusing.
Okay, I get it.
All right. Thank you. Oh, don't just
It's okay. It won't take too long. Okay, go ahead.
Honey, you should put it down. Don't just stand there with the tray. You're so funny. But anyway, okay. We are crazy here. As you can see, this is like a husband and wife team that's a joke in itself. But anyway, here are your ingredients.
It's not a joke. It's for real. We've been married 19 years.
No, our cooking together like this. It's like a joke. We don't know what we're doing a lot of times. But anyway, but here's your vegan Alfredo version of a sauce, okay? But before I do, I tell you how to make this, I do want to give credit to the owner of this recipe. A shout out to Brandy of the Vegan 8, the number 8. If you're looking for a source for really yummy vegan recipes, please visit Brandy's site. It's the Vegan 8, number 8, because I find that a lot of her recipes are incredibly good. So you know how a lot of times I don't like to touch healthy recipes because I have this somehow I think that every time it's something really, really healthy, I think, I don't know about that.
You're not supposed to touch it, right? Because I think everything in one of those recipes are like almost like architecturally precise. So that's why we try to maintain the sanity of those recipes.
Right. But Brandy, I will be tagging you pretty soon, but I am going to make your recipe. This is hers. This is not ours. Like I always say, we'll always give credit where credit is due, okay? These is what we need. A whole cup and a half of diced onions. It's white onions. She was very specific that we use white onion for this because it just gives it that distinct flavor, okay? So an overload of onions, a cup and a half diced. A heaping cup of raw unsalted cashews. You can't eat raw cashews because I used to make cashew balls that's raw. And I loved it. I will make those for you and show you how to make those one of these days. The whole tablespoonful of minced garlic. And then I have here 2 tablespoonfuls of freshly squeezed lemon juice, okay? I always try to use freshly squeezed lemon juice. I don't know why, but I can tell the difference between freshly squeezed and the bottled ones. And then here's our nutritional yeast. If you're not familiar with nutritional yeast, here they normally come in flake form. This is what I use. A particular brand that I want to endorse is Bragg's, only because I really like Bragg's. But Brandy actually endorsed the brand that is Sari, S-A-R-I, because according to her, it is the best tasting that she's ever found. I actually ordered them, but then they were late. They're late in coming. I still haven't received them, okay? But here,
Okay,
4
really
tablespoons.
quick, for those of you cooking the regular Alfredo sauce, I've brought it down to a simmer now because I saw little bubbles form. You're not supposed to make it boil. So bring it down to simmer. I have it on simmer.
And you can uncover it actually.
And I'm doing it for 2 minutes. So I'm on 1 minute and 21 seconds left.
Okay. So anyway, there's 4 tablespoonfuls of your nutritional yeast. And then this is actually 2 cups of broth, but we really need about a cup and a half, but we will try to tweak it according to taste. The very first thing we're gonna do for our vegan Alfredo sauce is here. Use 1 cup of your broth to cook your onions and your garlic in, okay? You will use these, right, actually, just the onions in the beginning. See, this is not my recipe. First is here, the cup of broth and the whole cup and a half of onions. You will cook that over medium heat, okay? We don't want to burn it, so just over medium heat. Stove top, please, Mikael. For this one, I'm just using a regular skillet. So a cup of this. There you go. A cup of our vegetable broth with 1.5 cups of the white onions. Can you see this?
Okay, I'm done with my 2-minute mark, so I'm now going to add my cream cheese.
Can you all see the stovetop? Is everybody?
I added my cream cheese, my garlic.
Everything is happening at the same time now.
And my 1 teaspoon of dried parsley.
Can you all see what Mikael is? Mikael, can you all see what Chet is doing now? Yes? Okay. So the regular Alfredo sauce is going right beside it. I just started with a vegan Alfredo sauce, okay? So we're cooking our onions in 1 cup of the vegetable broth. Now, moving back to our cake. Our cake, which is in the EOC, at about 24 minutes, which is like halfway mark, this is something that I'm gonna do. Can you see this? The challenge here is I'm not sure if you all can see what I'm doing. All right, I said get 1/2 cup of your condensed milk, and I have here 1 tablespoonful of coffee. I'm going to add a very little amount of water to my coffee, to my instant coffee, just to make a paste of it, okay? Make a paste of it. What are you looking for?
I'm actually gonna whisk the mixture.
It's right there. It's right here.
Add it.
You got a very small kind of whisk. Okay, so
But Chad, question mark. Chad, did you add the parsley already?
the what?
The parsley?
Not yet. Okay.
For mine, I did.
Oh, for me, for Chad's, for the regular, yes, he already did. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Please
That's
let me know what you're asking about. Cassie, did that answer your question? Was it Cassie who asked?
That was me. It wasn't me. It was someone else.
Okay.
But he added the
So yeah, so
garlic.
I added the, after it simmered for 2 minutes, I added the cream cheese and the parsley. Then I whisked it. I'll do this for another minute, and then I'll proceed with adding the Parmesan cheese.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, Mark. That was me who asked the question.
Oh, it was Celeste. Okay. Hi, Celeste. So you're making the regular Alfredo as well?
I am, because I couldn't find the nutritional yeast anywhere.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
then I'm also allergic to cashews. So
Okay. Well, for everyone else, if you're wondering where I got my nutritional yeast, I actually got it from Whole Foods. Okay. Now for the cake, let me show you. Mikael, can you show here the cake? See? Do you see this? I'm adding the coffee paste to the 1/2 condensed milk. What kind of condensed milk I use? Just your regular condensed milk, whatever you can find. Okay, and then I'm mixing this really well. Do you see this? So this is a mixture of your condensed milk and a whole tablespoonful of spinach paste. Can you all see
Okay.
this?
So my 1 minute is up. So now I'm gonna be grating my Parmesan cheese. I'm using 1 cup Parmesan cheese to the Alfredo sauce.
Yes, so he's shredding it. We always would advise people to use freshly grated cheese, okay? Because you're able to avoid a lot of the other chemicals or whatever else that they add to like already packed grated or cheese. Okay, do you see this mix of condensed milk and coffee? Okay, now with our cake halfway mark, it's 20 minutes. Okay, I said we're baking it for 40. I have a small stick. Do you see this? And the stick. Okay? Here's what I'm gonna do. I make a swirl or holes or swirl, okay? And then I'm gonna pour the condensed milk with the coffee on it. Do you see this? I don't know if anybody can see the cake. Different, okay? Very different. So I'm just creating like a circular, like a swirl on this thing. And in those holes that I made circular there, I just poured in a combination of condensed milk and coffee. Then I'm gonna bake it a little further. Okay? You will see later this cake that is so healthy. Condensed milk with the coffee is so good. It will be in between. Not with every single bite, but most like it's almost like when you layer coffee cakes or any type of cake, you put it in between. But what I did is I swirled it around within. That's why I created like a swirling thing and I poked hole in it for the cake. Okay.
Can you have to shift the camera?
Please go to the stove top, Mikael.
I'm not sure if you guys are, if this is spotlighted yet. As you could see, my regular Alfredo sauce is already good to go. It has thickened up because of the Parmesan cheese. Now, the reason why I used a bigger cone, I used cone number 2, is to avoid making it grainy. Okay, so you can see that it's not grainy, but it's like thick, and there's a little bit of string to it, and that's because of the Parmesan cheese. So just let this stand for 2 to 3 minutes before serving. But this is pretty much done actually.
Yes, your regular Alfredo sauce is actually done.
So this will be awesome with like your baked chicken, your baked mushroom.
Okay, honey, wait. We'll explain all of that. Let me just tell you real quick. The reason why we're teaching you just the base for the Alfredo sauce is one, personally, it is so much healthier, okay, than anything that you can buy that's already bottled. It's always better to make things from scratch. And the reason why we're just teaching you the base of the sauce is here, because I love creamy sauces. So I love Alfredo sauce. To be honest, whenever I make a big batch of a chicken Alfredo or shrimp Alfredo or whatever kind of meat I add into it, when it's left over, it doesn't taste the same. So I realized, it's better to just make a big batch of the sauce. And then as you go along, people can just choose whatever they want with that meal that they're having at the moment. And then people can even take their pick. Maybe Chad will want shrimp. I like chicken better, then I can do chicken. But you can just choose. And then people who do not necessarily want any meat, who are vegetarian or not necessarily opposed to dairy, but are really trying to avoid any type of meat, then they can just do a lot of vegetables. And you're good to go. It's so much more versatile when you just use or when you just keep the sauce by itself without anything else in it. Okay, that's why we're teaching you the base. Now, let me mention real quick. The regular Alfredo is almost done. John, because I know you're doing the vegan. So you know how we've been cooking the white onions in the cup of broth, of our vegetable broth? We're cooking that for about 8 minutes, okay? Because we want this to be completely tender. I apologize. My husband turned my medium heat lower. So I lost time. He keeps trying to.
Okay, so the sauce is done now. I'm gonna set it here for 2 to 3 minutes.
I'm gonna take longer time in my white onion cooking.
It's already boiling.
It doesn't matter. We're boiling the onions in the vegetable broth because, honey, the goal is for the broth to be almost gone.
Got it. Okay.
He kept lowering the
I
temperature.
kept on
So now I
following the
lost.
rule of like if it's medium, then bring it to low. So I brought it to low.
Yeah, but there's not even a.
It's okay.
No, it's
But-
not. I lost time. But John, okay, your goal when you're cooking your white onion in the vegetable broth is to cook it for about 8 minutes on medium. Don't lower it. Don't cover it because we want to cook the onion until the broth is almost gone.
Okay, so let me just do a timer then. So let's do 6 more minutes for that. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So
Not perfect for me.
as you can see, if you have fresh parsley, it's even better. Like for the Alfredo sauce, because it adds that green thing to your prepared dish, and it will present really, really well. Are there any questions so far? Hey, are you good? Is John good?
What I'm gonna do is because Chet is done with his regular Alfredo sauce here tonight, I am going to add shrimp to our Alfredo sauce. That's what we're having for tonight. So honey, why don't you show them?
Okay, I can saute some garlic.
I have a
Some
quick question.
shrimp.
Do you need to put any seasoning in the Alfredo sauce?
Oh, that's done. That's it, Cassie.
That's done. You can actually, it's always like this, Cassie. It's always to taste. If you will notice with us, we hardly add so much salt. So go ahead and taste it. You can add your salt to taste or pepper, salt and pepper. Okay. But look, he's going to try what he made for the first time, and he will
Okay.
decide if he wants more salt with it.
No, it's actually good. It's creamy and it's cheesy. Your Parmesan alone and the cream cheese has provided the flavor. Now,
Yes. This is very flavorful.
I do know that I like pepper. So later on, even when I do my garlic butter shrimp, I'm not gonna add too much pepper because my family does not like pepper, but I personally like pepper. So I'm gonna add some black pepper and maybe even some red pepper flakes later on. But Cassie, it's good. Have you tried it? If you've already like done your mixture,
Okay, let me taste it.
that's really, really good.
It's done. You're done. All right.
Okay, so I am going to, this is not part of our show. This is for a family meal. But what I normally do is I brown the butter, then I saute my garlic, and then I toss my shrimp. And that's about it.
So this is now the preparation of whatever meat or protein you decide
Mhm.
to eat with your Alfredo sauce.
Yep.
Today we're using our shrimp. Now, if you have Celeste, I'm not sure what are you using today. What are you having? Are you having mushrooms or chicken?
For me, I'm doing portobello mushrooms, and for Sege, I'm doing shrimp and scallops.
The beauty of that. Do you see? Did you hear that? It's going to be the same thing. I actually have some cremini. The first thing that we're going to do is the shrimp for the rest of my family because they like shrimp with their Alfredo. I'm going to try my Alfredo with mushrooms. So we're going to cook those two things separate, but we actually are going to cook and eat like we're in a restaurant tonight. What do you want? What do
Yeah.
you want? What do you
And
want?
for my shrimp, I forgot I salt and pepper. So that's it. It's really butter, garlic, and then salt and pepper. All right.
So Dad is going to show you how he prepares the shrimp at this point. All right? Is everybody having fun?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I know everything. Did anybody like try to do the cake with me today? No. Is
Say that
anybody,
again, ma'am?
is anybody doing the cake with me today?
I did the cake with you in the EOC.
Oh, awesome. Perfect. Did you do the condensed milk?
Yes.
Yay, with the coffee. I'm so excited. Celeste, let me know how it turns out for you. Okay.
I
So
will.
good friend who's
Sege will let me know.
can easily be a vegan cake for you. Okay.
Yes.
Gluten free, but also vegan. You just remove the egg, use your
Right.
egg mixer, and then your condensed milk. You just make sure you get the coconut condensed milk.
Right.
So I cannot wait for you to try this cake. It's very simple. Now, John, let me talk to John. How are you doing with the onions?
It's got
It's almost, the sauce is almost gone. Yeah. The sauce is almost gone. I think it might be a couple more minutes.
You need a couple more minutes. Yeah, I have the same thing. Until the broth is almost gone. Okay, so I have a minute more on my clock. I decided to just do like full blown 8 minutes. But like I said, our goal is to like evaporate as much or like dry out as much of the vegetable because they're not all necessarily evaporating. If you notice on the stovetop, the way the broth is starting to kind of like thin out or dry out, it's evaporating and the onions are actually like really absorbing a lot of it. Cool. So just one more minute in my clock, and then the next thing we're gonna do, John, for the vegan Alfredo sauce is add our garlic. Okay? But not yet. One more minute. All right, I'm adding my garlic now. Add the garlic after about 8 minutes of cooking the white onion in the broth. There you go. We'll cook this further for about 2 to 3 minutes, okay? That's how we're cooking our garlic. So I don't know if you've seen, but we're using shrimp that has a shell in it, okay? On it rather. Sorry, not inside. The shell is on the shrimp. Sorry. And Chad is adding more garlic because we are a family who loves garlic for real. You can never go wrong with garlic, right? The more, the better. And if you don't know, garlic and onions, they're very good. For my friend Araceli mentioned it last time, but they're great something, but they're very healthy. Here you go, honey. You need it? Okay, he's waiting a little bit more. Now, I'm gonna go back to my onion and garlic, and we're gonna have to continually like stir this. Make sure that we're stirring continually until the broth is gone, okay? So John, we never lower the temperature. It was kept at medium heat. But look, our broth is almost gone. Are you gonna cover the shrimps, honey? You wanna talk to them?
I was gonna get the cover.
Okay. You're making me get out of the way. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna cover it for about 2 minutes. It's nice to see everybody else cooking. How are you guys doing? Has anyone finished their regular Alfredo sauce?
I think Cassie's done. Or Tasha.
yes, I'm done with my sauce, and so now I'm doing the
Taste it, Cassie? How was it?
It's tasty. It was really good. I like it.
Are you gonna add some salt or pepper or spices to it, or you're good with it?
Not to the sauce,
Okay.
because I like it the way it is, and I don't think I need anything.
Perfect.
So Cassie is a good friend of ours as well. And she told me as soon as I put out the invite that Alfredo is her son Jordan's favorite.
Mhm.
Jordan is a
Right.
friend.
Right.
Who else? Tasha, did you make the regular Alfredo sauce? Or are you doing the vegan one? Hey, Twanda, how are you?
All right.
We're good.
John, may I see your onion and garlic? Is your broth almost gone?
No, well, yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
Almost gone? Ah, it's almost dry. Yours is going faster than mine. Then what you need to do at this point is grab your blender.
I'm done. Done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Fine.
Ready na.
Yeah, I'm ready with the blender.
Okay. The first thing that we're gonna add in our to our blender is, okay, mine is also done. This is pretty good. This smells so good. John, ready? The first thing we're gonna add into our blender is your cooked onion and garlic. Put it in. You see this? Okay. Our cooked onion and garlic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mhm. See. Okay.
All right.
That's
Then you're good. And then when it's in your blender, add 1/2 cup of your broth, your vegetable broth, the remaining amount that I said you needed. So 1/2 cup of the vegetable broth going into the blender. All right. What's next? You grab your salt. It's not in the list of ingredients because this is something that we always assume people have at home, right? Is it in your blender? And then you add a pinch of salt. In my case, I'm gonna do 2, okay? A couple pinches of salt. Next, John, are you following?
Yep.
Yes, I am.
And then put in your cashews. Ta-da!
Put in my cashews.
Next, start with 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm saying start with 1 tablespoon of lemon juice because you're going to try this later and see if you want to add more. 1 tablespoon to start with of lemon. And your nutritional yeast. To start with, 2 tablespoonfuls of the yeast. If you guys are not familiar with this nutritional yeast, when you get the really good kind, this is actually a great substitute for anything that calls for cheese. Okay? This is a great healthy substitute for cheese. So start with 2 tablespoonfuls of your yeast, John. Did you see that?
Yep.
That's it. And we blend it until it's really, really like creamy and mixed well. Now this recipe will have a yield of about 2 cups of your vegan Alfredo sauce. All right, here, because this is gonna be loud. That's why I wanted this to be the last. Ready? We'll blend it until it's really, really good.
Mute everybody.
So whenever I'm blending, because it will take several rounds with my blender because I do not have the more powerful type of blender. I need to get one, okay? I do increments of like 30 seconds, okay? So like 30 seconds and then they're like 10 seconds apart. And then I do it again. Are you done, John? Is yours really creamy now? What kind of blender do you have?
Ano na? Did. Okay. Wait.
Are you done blending, John? What kind of blender do you have? Let me see.
Yeah, I'm finished blending. We have an Oster blender.
You're gonna need several times of blending. So
Mhm.
do what I do. I do 30 seconds with like 10-minute intervals.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 30 seconds until it's really smooth.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. You see that? Yes.
All right.
That shrimp looks good.
Do you see this? All right. Here's the shrimp all done. And we're simply adding Alfredo sauce on top. Do you see this? Can you take a photo? There you go. There you go.
Mikael, if you could shift to this camera over here, so we could show it to them.
Oh my goodness. Looks yummy.
Yeah, delicious. Look good.
So, all you need will be your pasta, or if you're choosing to avoid carbs, and should be it. This should be it.
All
Should be
right.
very flavorful.
Okay, you have to take a picture. Here's my vegan. Here's the vegan version of our Alfredo sauce. But if you can see, it's not as creamy and smooth yet. So I'll keep doing this further. John, can you see this? How is yours turned out? I want us to try it at least. Can you see it, honey?
Yeah, I can see.
Thinking.
There. So John and I are gonna keep blending this until it's a lot creamier than this, okay?
Okay.
So this requires, the recipe actually did say you need a powerful blender for this one. And then a way around it, John, in the future, if you don't have a powerful blender, is to actually soak your cashew nuts for about 2 hours, at least 2 hours before doing it this way, okay? But because we didn't do that, we're gonna have to keep blending. But I want you to at least taste it and try it first. Let's see. How do you like the taste? Here, honey, you'll be my tester.
Sure. That's good.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
He's on camera. He cannot say it's not good.
No, it's good.
John, let me ask John.
So I tasted the regular Alfredo. I could definitely taste the hint of lemon more than this one.
Sabihan mo sa kanya.
Yeah, I tried it. It's really good.
It's light, right?
Did you like it?
tastes light.
Yeah.
It tastes so healthy and light,
Mhm.
but it is so flavorful.
Yeah.
So Brandy, the owner of this recipe, thank you so much. If you look at this recipe on her blog, on her site, it has 5-star reviews. Perfect 5 from vegan people. Okay, so there's her vegan Alfredo sauce. Now, John, you're just gonna have to decide what you're gonna eat it with.
Mhm.
So see, because we don't have powerful blenders, my only thing about my vegan Alfredo sauce is that the nuts are still like a little bit, it's not completely blended and not fine in texture. But I am not particular with texture. So for someone like me, this is good to go. But if you're particular with texture and you want it to be completely fine and creamy, you're gonna have to soak your cashews about a couple of hours before you prepare it this way. Okay, that will help soften it. But if you have a very powerful blender like a Vitamix, you can do away without having to soak your cashews. Okay, there you go.
Okay, I think we're ready with this.
We're ready with that. And then we're out of time. It's already 6 o'clock. Excuse me, honey.
Mhm.
So let me just show you. Celeste, is your cake ready? Hello?
I was a late bloomer, so not yet.
Okay. Now I want to show you the cake in the E-asy. This is gluten-free. Now look, my first time to try that brand. This is the cake that I just made. Okay. I'm gonna test real quick just to show you if it's done. Ooh, it's actually like here, halfway, not yet. It's still a lot moist in the middle. I can tell you that a lot of times I stop baking when it's like this. Do you see the toothpick? Because I like my cake pretty fudgy, like moist, almost raw in the middle. So this, I'm gonna do like a couple more minutes. I'm gonna grab a whole plate to show you.
Any questions so far? So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, as you could see, we're kind of just doing this live, and none of these is scripted. So we do make, we experience the same experience that you experience in your kitchen. We make mistakes, we learn from our mistakes, we tweak our recipes, we adjust according to flavor. I particularly always start with a recipe, and then once I am able to perfect it according to my taste, then I keep it at that. My wife is more of the one who kind of like a writer who writes by the seat of their pants. That's kind of like the way she treats cooking. She always goes by instinct and flavor, and it always turns out good too, but it's always different every time.
No, I'm already doing my recipes because I need to share it with people.
But now that
Can you
we're
grab
doing
me
this,
a,
that's the benefit. Yes, I agree.
Fork, please. I could not even remember what I was trying to say. All right. So my cake is not quite done, but here. I broke it up too. Do you see this? You could hardly see the veggies in it. I broke it up because it's not quite done, but I wanted to show you. This is gluten-free, okay? And then inside it, you will not see it at this point because it kind of like got into the cake. Honey, here, taste the condensed milk with the coffee.
Okay.
It's like,
Yeah, it's too close to my face. I'll do
I'm
it.
sorry. Can you taste it?
Mhm.
Okay. So there you
I
go.
can taste the coffee.
Yes, with the condensed milk, it's like inside your coffee, inside your chocolate cake. That's really healthy.
Mhm.
It is so good. All right. So make that, John, with your mom, so you can have your dessert. But we're out of time.
I think this would be really good with vanilla ice cream too.
Yes, on top while it's hot. Grab it hot and then put a scoop of vanilla on top of it. Really
Okay.
yummy. There you go. So once again, another edition of 7 with Chad Marvie. Thank you so much for joining us. Please come join us once again next week. Better yet, join us every Sunday at 5 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yeah, so for those of you who cooked, make sure you let us know, okay? And send us the photos too.
Yes.
Remember, we are kicking off the Cook Your Way to 99 today. So as far as what you could earn, you can see that in our Facebook page. We will be posting the different gadgets that you can actually earn your way just by joining us every Sunday.
Yes.
So Cook Your Way to 99. Again, if you hit a like or give us a review on Facebook, that earns you points, okay? All of them offline. Everyone, enjoy your Sunday dinner, okay?
All right.
You like everything?
Thank you, Chad and Marvie. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
How's
guys.
the dishes? Thank you.
Photo of your treat.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Say that again.
Bye.
Yay.